Hi guys! I haven't filmed a tag video in a while, or maybe I have, I don't remember filming a tag video for a while, and I really felt in the mood to do one. So today I am going to do a twist on an existing tag, as I have done several times before. I love the booktube world, I love to watch book related videos, but in all honesty, I have to say I really don't read enough these days. I really don't. I used to read constantly and now I don't, and it's something that I really do want to work on and try and fix because I hate it. It's something I really don't like about myself these days, is that I don't make enough time for reading, but you all know I definitely make enough time for TV. So today I am going to film the Disney Songbook tag, which was originally a booktube tag, but I am going to do the TV edition. So I hope that Chloe from the Brunette Bibliophile, who started this tag, doesn't mind that I'm putting a TV twist on it, and maybe one day I will film the book edition. Question 1 is, part of your world. What series would you change yourself for to be a part of that world? So for this question I have two answers, and I'm probably going to have two answers for a lot of these questions. But the first one that I would say, and I wouldn't spend too much time on because I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talk about it, but it's Once Upon a Time. I would definitely become a fairy tale character and move to Storybrooke and move to the Enchanted Forest and live as part of the Storybrooke fairy tale community because I just love it so much. My friend and I were talking about this last night actually, and I can't say exactly what we were referring to because spoilers, but we were basically trying to figure out a plan if a certain event was to happen in the show which would free up a certain character, how I would make my entrance into the show to become their new romantic interest. And we were trying to come up with characters who I could play, and so this is something that I have given some actual genuine thought to. For me, I think I would like to be not one of the existing fairy tale characters. I would probably prefer to be along the Emma lines. She's not a fairy tale, she is a fairy tale character, but she's not someone that we knew before this show. She's been created for this show. So that's what I would like to be. Or failing that, in a more real world rather than fantasy world situation, I would love to be in Gilmore Girls because I just think Stars Hollow is the best place ever. It's probably my favourite like fictional town. It just is the loveliest community, and the characters within the show are just incredible. I want Lorelai to be my friend. I want to hang out with her and Rory and Suki and Lane and go to Luke's diner, and I want to walk around the town, and I want to go and visit the inn, and I just want to be cuddled up in the cosy Stars Hollow blanket that is Gilmore Girls. If you're a Gilmore Girls fan, by the way, I filmed reacting to the news of the Gilmore Girls reboot video last week, which I will pop a link to somewhere around about here. Question 2, Let It Go. Which series did you not want to finish because you loved it so much? Again, I have two answers for this. I don't have two answers for so many of these questions, but the first would be Lost, because even though I know for a lot of people it lost its way towards the end, it never did for me. I felt that it went slightly insane, but I felt in an amazing way, and I loved the twists and turns, and I could have stayed part of this mystery and part of this group of characters forever and been perfectly happy. I think why I enjoy it so much is that I am so invested in the character relationships rather than the mystery, and I think that if you do that, then you're going to be totally satisfied with the ending. I cry a lot every time I watch the last episode of Lost, and I sometimes, this sounds so ridiculous, but I sometimes just watch it, like a very odd time I'll just watch it because I want to have the experience of that final episode again, and it makes me just cry every single time. I don't watch it that often because I don't ever want it to lose the effect that it has on me, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want it to ever not have that impact anymore, and I just, like, thinking about it just makes me even feel slightly emotional. So didn't want Lost to end. I was heartbroken that it was over, but I was pleased with the ending, so that's definitely one. And the other is Being Erica. I will keep plugging this show forever until everyone watches it. I'm going to mention this show again in a later question, so I'm not going to go into too much depth with it right now. It's definitely a show that had a really big impact on my life and came into my life at a really appropriate time, and I genuinely just love it so much, and it's something that I go back to over and over and over again. And the thought of it ending I found really hard, especially because it only got 4 seasons, and it got 4 seasons, and they're short seasons too. It's not like 4, 23, 24 episode long seasons. They're like 12, 13 episode seasons. In fact, I think the last one only got about 9, And so I was really, really, really devastated that it was going to be over, and really just didn't want to not be able to hang out with Erica anymore. If they were to do a Being Erica reboot, I would be all for that, because there's some really interesting stuff that they could do with it. So Being Erica writers, get in contact with me if you want to talk reboot stuff, because I've got some ideas. Hashtag lighting problems. The sun's coming in through the blinds now, so it's all gone a bit to pot. But do you know what? I am getting sick of hearing myself apologise for strange lighting, because this is not my job. I wish it was, but it's not. And the content that I create, I get excited about because I like to talk about things like TV. I've just spoiled my answer for the next question, but I like to talk about TV, and I like to sit and ramble about that, and we seem to have this obsession with perfection, and usually, this has gone on a whole tangent that's not related to this tag, but we do have this obsession with perfection in terms of nothing can be, you can't have a hair out of place, which I regularly do, you can't, have, lighting going a bit to pot. But this is real life, and in Scotland, in autumn, winter, and spring and summer, weather is unpredictable, and you don't know what it's going to do, and sometimes you sit down to film a video when the weather's fine, and the sun is in a really good position, and then 5 minutes later the clouds have come out, and this is happening. This is a perfect illustration of what I am saying. In the space of that sentence, my face has now gone what looks deathly pale because the clouds have covered the sun, and 2 minutes ago it was streaming in through the closed blinds, creating weird patterns on the couch. Real life YouTubing. So back to the tag. The next question is Beauty and the Beast. What series do you think is or will be timeless? Now for this question I have gone with a couple of comedy shows, and they are Friends and Fawlty Towers. My parents and my uncle and I were having a conversation about this recently, in terms of the fact that there are old shows, and I haven't experienced this yet really because I'm 26, and so I don't think enough time has passed in my life yet for this to happen. But my parents were talking about revisiting old shows that they loved when they were in like their 20s, and watching them back and getting so excited about them. Like sometimes when they do the reruns on TV, or they release like limited release DVDs and stuff, and Mum and Dad have bought a couple of things that they loved so much when they were younger, and then watching it back, they're just like, oh, it feels so dated, and it's just lost what it was, because it was really, really funny in the time, and it's not so much now. Whereas Fawlty Towers, this show was made a long time ago, and I don't think that it will ever stop being funny. This is a special edition 30th anniversary box set, which was released in 2009, which suggests to me that the original run of the show started in 1979. So that's insane to me, and it's still as funny and ridiculous as the time that it was made. I think it's something to do with the type of humour in this show just hasn't changed, and the way that it's written isn't all obsessed with very, direct cultural references of the time. It's something more general, and it just will always be funny to me. And with Friends started in the 90s, so we're now like talking, 20 years since it launched, which is insane. It's been over for, 10 years now. But I think, again, it's one of these shows that is so built on character relationships, and the humour all comes from the character personalities rather than maybe anything too ingrained in that particular time period, that I think it will always be funny too. The next question is, so this is love. Which show were you hesitant to watch to begin with but you ended up loving? Now for that, I forgot to bring my box set down, but I would say The Vampire Diaries for that question. I was extremely hesitant to watch The Vampire Diaries because my aversion, my issues with Twilight had made me make a misguided judgment of The Vampire Diaries. Before I watched it, I decided that it would be just, Twilight all over again, but in an extended TV form. However, I was in Asda one night, I've told this story before, and I saw the season 1 box set for like $4.99 or something like that. And this was quite early on. It must have been like a really special offer, because I started watching it just after season 2 had ended. So I took the first season box set home, binged it in a really short period of time, and I couldn't believe what a poor judgment I had made of the show. Another one I probably made that judgment with was Orphan Black. I thought that it sounded scary, and I know that sounds really pathetic, but I'd seen some tweets about it, people saying, that they'd, been, frightened about certain things that happened in it. And so I thought it was kind of like a horror thing, and I didn't properly look into it until I went and read the Netflix little summary, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute. That actually sounds really good, and it's one of the best shows on TV right now. The next question is, friend like me, which character would you like to be your best friend? I would say now that it would have to be Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation. She is like the best friend that you could ever imagine. Emma, my best friend Emma, and I were talking about this recently. She's just the best person, and she's the person who you would want as your cheerleader, in your corner, backing you all the way through whatever you're going through in your life. She's so positive, she's so intelligent, she's so passionate about what she does, and I just think she'd be an amazing friend. And I did a video talking about female friendships on TV. I feel like I just keep throwing in like, oh, please go and watch this other video of mine in this video, but I did do a video talking about female friendship representation in TV, which if you're interested in, I will link in the description box. And the final question is reflection. Which series really made you think or changed the way that you view things? I would say for this question that I tried to give this some thought and think of a different answer because I didn't want to repeat myself, but I think I have to. Because I would say that Being Erica was the show that definitely changed the way that I think. This sounds very deep and kind of overshare, but when I watched this show, I genuinely didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I was like in such a panic because I thought, I don't know what's going to happen. I've discovered this show on the lead up to my graduation from university the first time around, so back in 2011. And I was in such a panic about what I was going to do when I graduated, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what I wanted to do job wise, and it really was starting to freak me out. Yeah, okay, at that point I was only 22. In fact, I wasn't even quite 22 yet, so I was probably a little bit early in having my quarter life crisis. But I really genuinely was worried about what was going to happen because I was so happy at uni and I loved being at uni, and I didn't want that to end. And the knowledge that it was soon going to end was really kind of messing with my head. And I found this show, and it was about a girl who's, 10 years older than I was at the time that I was having these thoughts, who was having very, very similar thoughts. She didn't know what she was doing with her life. Things had not turned out the way that she'd expect them to, and she didn't really know how to handle all of the things that she regretted. She didn't know how to handle all of the mistakes she felt that she had made and the decisions that she'd made in her life up to this point. And then this show is just 4 seasons worth of slightly magical exploration of your psychology, I guess, and how you learn to deal with the decisions that you make and make changes in your life and make positive decisions and get on with your life despite maybe things taking a different path than you'd expected. I would recommend this to anybody because I think that this is a show that is very, very good for your state of mind, because it helps you, as Erica deals with her issues, it helps you deal with the decisions that you've made in your life. So go and watch it. The last question is Colours of the Wind, who do you tag? So I'm going to tag anyone who watched this video to do either the book or a TV or even a movie version of this, because I think it's such a fun tag. Love Disney, so it's a great idea. My camera battery is now flashing, which is telling me that I have to stop filming, but thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you're having a great weekend, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know, and you can hit subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye! Everything about this show has this very strong female feel to it, and there are a lot of really positive female relationships within this show. We have the